Hi guys, in this video lecture we are going to study the organizational change, the basic concept and definition of change, the nature of organizational change and need and factors influencing the change, types of change and the models of change. So let's start with the video lecture. So the first one is that what is the change? So change is an inevitable in modern organization. So in this way we can say that nothing is permanent except the change. So it is a duty of management to manage the change properly. An organization must develop adaptability to change. Otherwise it will be either be left behind or swept away by the forces of change. So next is the basic concept and definition of change. Thus the term change Thus, the term change refers to any alteration which occurs in the overall work environment of an organization. It implies the alteration of structure, relationship, and role of a people in the organization. In this way, we can say that any alteration in the existing system is called a change. So, the change may be either physical, chemical, mechanical, structural, etc. So, a definition of change, which is given by Wendy One and Pule, that organizational change is a structural approach in an organization for ensuring that the changes are smoothly and successfully implemented, and that the lasting benefit of change are achieved. Next, we are going to study the nature of organizational change. The first and foremost nature of organizational change is that it results from the pressure of forces which are both from outside and inside of the organization. It disturbs the existing equilibrium in the organization. So the whole of the organization will tends to be affected by the change in any part of change which are implemented in the organization. It takes place in all the part of the organization, but their rate of speed and degree of applying the change may differ. The change may affect the people, structure, technology, and other elements of the organization. So, change may be reactive or a proactive in the organization. So, reactive means when there is something happen and after that change are implemented. So, that is known as a reactive change in the organization. And when the organization plan the changes plan the changes priorly, so that changes are known as the proactive changes. And the last one is that the organizational change is a continuous process. So next is the types of changes. So there are generally four types of changes in the organization. So the first change is the proactive change or a active change. It takes place when some of the forces make the organization to think and plan the changes before implementing it. So organization realizes the external environment, internal environments, policies, rules, etc., and then make the final change with the thorough planning. So it is an active change, as I have earlier mentioned, and it is also called the planned change because it is implemented in a planned manner. Next is the reactive change or the passive change. So this type of the change take place when there is a sudden force or a great demand. In order to cope up with the such situations or such situations like such situation reactions takes place. Such changes are passive changes. It takes place without planning, and it covers the limited part of a system or organization, and it is not implemented in a planned manner. Next is the planned change. So planned change is also regarded as a developmental change which is implemented when the objective of improving the present way of operation and to achieve the predefined goals. Next is the incremental change. The changes which are implemented at the micro level or unit or a subunit level are regarded as an incremental change. So these are the four types of changes. So the next one is the need, or we can say the factors influencing the change, or why there is a need to bring the change in the organization. So the first one is the external factors. So when the external forces will make the organization to change and change, that are known as the external factors of change. So these changes are the large and complex and are difficult to control. So the few of the external forces of change are, so the first one is the technology. So it is a major external force which calls for a change. The rate of technological change is always greater today than any time in the past, and technological changes are responsible for changing the nature of job performed at all level of organization. Next one is the social change. Because of the spread of education and knowledge explosion and government efforts, social changes are taking place at the fast speed, and the drive for the social equity has posed the new challenges for the management. Next one is the political changes. So, political forces within and outside of the country will have an important influence on the large business houses, particularly the transactional corporations. So, the relation between the government and business houses have become a very common in modern times. Next is the globalization and government policies. So the globalization affects an economy in number of ways. So with the globalization and liberalization, any organization in any part of the world can manufacture, process, and sell its product and services to the other part that is liberalized. Next factor is the economic factor. So, in the view of increased competition, along with the low margin, organization will try to minimize the cost by keeping the organization by keeping the organization's functions to be outsourced. Next one is the consumers interest group. So, consumer interest group means the customers need, demand, and preferences. According to that, the organization will need to bring the change in the organization. Next one is the competition. So competition in the market, either it may be related to the product, customer satisfaction, need and demands of the customer, or either taste and preferences, or the price or cost of the product. There is a need to bring the change in the organization. Next one is the drive for social equity. So the social equity means the different type of social groups. So India had a different type of social groups on the basis of religion, caste, gender, etc. Since the social equity is increasing day by day, yeah, so the organization will need to bring the change in the need to bring the change. So the next forces of change in the internal forces, as the name suggests that the internal forces means the operators who are working with the tools and machineries within the organization. So these are the changes which can be controlled easily, and they are small and less complex as compared to the external forces of change. So under this, the first factor is nature of workforce or manpower. So the workforce varies from organization to organization depending upon the need, task they perform, and kind of technology adopted by the organization, etc. And to bring the change, we need to train and develop the manpower. So next is the value. So value is the shared set of beliefs followed by the large number of people. uh, Workforce will have their own value system and beliefs. So in order to bring the change, we need to bring the change in the value system of organization. So next one is the resources. The basic resources required for production have become scarce and expensive. So hence, for the proper utilization of resources, the organization will need to bring the some changes in their methods of production. Next one is the diversity of workforce. So today the workers are more educated and try to focus on authority and question for their rights, and generally question for their rights. So there is a diversity in their value system, beliefs, and education level. So this has forced the organization to bring the change in the organization. So the next one is the introduction of new technology. So introduction of new technology in the organization will affect the function, relationship, and span of control of activities of the organization. So this will force the organization to change. Next one is for meeting with the certain crisis. Crisis like the death of a CEO, transfer, and several other disturbances, etc. Then the organization will need to bring the change in their structure and function. Next, we will study the models of change. Under this, we will study the Kurt-Lewin model of change. So the Kurt-Lewin model of change is one of the early model of planned change. So according to the Kurt-Lewin, changes underlines the modification of those forces that keeps the system behavior stable. So the level of behavior at any point of a time is resultant of these two vectors. these two vectors, one aiming towards maintaining the status quo and other is striving for the force, means that there is a status quo, that is of the current state, and there is a restraining forces. These are the restraining forces which will try to bring this line to the stable point, and other is the driving forces which will try to move this line towards the upper side. So when these two both forces are in equilibrium, then the status quo is maintained, means that this line will not move. And when one of the forces, that is of the restraining forces, when the driving forces will become higher or it may increases, then there is a change towards the upper side. So then the second stage reaches is, that is of the unfreezing state. So, unfreezing means discarding the old behavior, perception, thoughts, beliefs, and style of a working which are adopted by the employees in the organization. And then, after the employee reaches to the third stage, that is of the changing or a moving. So, changing or a moving is that after discarding the old behavior, perception, thought, beliefs, and style of a working, in this stage, the employees will adopt the new kind of behavior, new perception, new beliefs, new thoughts, and new style of working in the organization. And then the employee will move to the refreezing state. So in refreezing stage, all the behavior, perception, and thoughts which are adopted by the employees, they will adopt them as a permanent part of the behavior and continue with these changes. And then after, the desired stage of change will be achieved in the organization. So this is the total model of the Kurt-Lewin model of change. So this is the three-stage model of the Kurt-Lewin. Here the unfreezing stage, which says that ensures that the employees are ready for the change, means they will discard old behavior, perception, and thoughts and beliefs so that they can easily adopt the new changes. Next stage is the change stage or move stage. Then execute the intended change. In this stage, employees or organization will adopt the new perception, beliefs, thoughts, and new style of a working within himself or herself or within the organization. And the last stage is the refreezing. So refreezing means ensuring that changes will becomes the permanent part of the behavior. So these three are the model of the Kurt-Lewin model of change. So the last is the conclusion. The most important challenges before the today's manager is that how to manage the change in the changing world with the knowledge of traditional rigid and static management system and processes. So the change is inevitable aspect of life. It is the essence of any entity that has the life and whose existence finds validity in the presence of life. So the time changes, people changes, things changes, situation changes, and so the organization will need to change in this modern era. So thank you so much for listening it very patiently.